Y'all, actor Columbus Short, best known for You Got Served, Stomped the Yard, and acting a damn fool, literally got arrested again. Now, I know what y'all saying. Columbus Short from Scandal in 2014 ain't the last big hit he had. Well, guess what? Apparently, he's feeling the stress too of knowing he is washed up and over, and it looks like he's taking his anger out on everyone else. Y'all, Columbus Short literally got arrested for domestic violence. He was arrested for felony domestic violence. Yeah, I know. But let me tell you how sad this fool went out. Because guess what? Let's drag. Because he definitely deserved it. Not to be outdone like any true punk, he actually issued a statement. I'm sure we literally telling us why he felt like he had to go up in his wife's mouth. Y'all, exactly. Let's listen to this BS. And then meet me after the jump so we can discuss.
What's up? I know I'm out here. I know there's some stuff out here in the media. Again, arrested for felony domestic violence. So let me tell you what's really happened. I asked my wife to leave the home due to my frustration, and I grabbed her phone, which I shouldn't have did, and I scratched her hand. And you know, post OJ, you know, the police came here, the detectives were here. It was a whole like just ridiculous thing, and they had to make a decision. They didn't want to take me, they didn't want to take her, but they had to make a decision. And based on that scratch, I went to jail. So I'm sorry for anybody that I let down. I'm sorry for anybody that I let down. I'm grinding, I'm working hard, but my apologies.
Now, first of all, he lying. What is he talking about? You literally, first of all, you asked your wife to leave the family home. Boy, you don't know the number to Motel 6. Second of all, you simply grabbed her phone and she got a little scratch, or did you try to wrestle that out of her hand like she was, you were the Hulk, literally doing He-Man cosplay? Third of all, the cops made a choice. They didn't want to arrest either of y'all, but they had to arrest someone. Why does every abuser tell that dumb lie? The cops can, guess what? There's a third choice, Columbus. If there's no evidence of anything, the cops just leave. No one gets arrested. Do you know why? Because nobody actually did domestic violence. And the fact that it's now a felony, listen, I don't know about those cops. Maybe they're doing this job, or from what I hear, no crime statistics, it's very, very hard to get arrested for domestic violence, let alone felony domestic violence. So, I don't know. The cops didn't want to, and even the way saying like, oh, I'm so sorry, I wish it had ended differently. Shut up, man. You sound like a liar. But anyway, let's get into the details of this mess. Liar. This is why you got fired off a Scandal. Because you couldn't even act your way out of that paper bag of making me think you were innocent. But let's get into these details, all right? You guys don't know he lives in the San Fernando Valley, right? Cops were called to the house around 10:30 p.m. over an argument between Columbus and his wife. And then it got physical. However, Columbus, being the sucker he is, literally tried to be like, she hit me. The police checked him out and looked at him and said, sir, what are you talking about? There is not one mark on you. That's right. He said that she punched him in the face. Now, unless she got little baby hands, the cops said he had absolutely no marks. However, when they did talk to his wife, they noticed an injury on his wife. Say this injury was minor, but it was majorly more than what Columbus could show. Because like I said, Columbus' face looked fine. Even though they said the injury wasn't life-threatening, the cops did arrest Columbus for domestic violence because they could see a visible injury. It became a felony, y'all. Now again, this isn't the first time that Columbus has had issues. Remember in 2018, I think he was arrested and had to literally serve 34 days in jail for assaulting her then. It was the same wife, right? And this is because he was on probation from a bar fight of 2014. Listen, this last time he spent 12 years a slave to his dumbness. He spent 12 hours in prison before posting a $50,000 bond. Now there's no word on whether him and his wife have worked things out. Most likely they have, because this is the umpteenth time they've been in fisticuffs. But even then, what is that little boy, and he is on the short side, doing still putting his hands on people, especially his wife? Y'all, it's 2022. Kim and Kanye is cutting a fool. There might be a comic coming in like 50 years. I just made that up. I don't know if there's a comic coming. My point is, what? He just seems to take his aggressions out on the person that is close enough to him. And by close, I don't mean by his feeling, but by his arm reach, which is his wife. Let's not forget, let's go through his little cut-ups, right? He had a warrant issued for his arrest on his 36th birthday because he failed to appear in court for divorce proceedings against his then wife, right? I think it's the same wife, Tandy McCall. It was the second time he failed to show up. How much do you have to cut up that the judge issues an arrest warrant because you ain't show up for divorce proceedings? Judges don't be cared about that. They don't even care if you show up for custody proceedings. Why didn't he come to this state? Why didn't he come to court? I'll tell you why. Because it was a judgment whatever. It was an exam to look at his debts and see what his assets were. And he failed to show up because it would have delved into his finances. So on top of being a woman beater and an all-around mess and being fired for domestic violence from the best show of your life, you now trying to hide finances? Man, I get it. That wasn't it. You know that bar fight in 2014? You know who he was fighting? Do you know who he was fighting? He was fighting one of his in-laws. That's right. As a part of a no-jail plea deal, he also pleaded no contest to a felony assault charge after allegedly throwing a punch at one of his in-laws. Y'all, this man. He also got charged with the felony for another bar brawl. This person wasn't related. He was just throwing punches at strangers, right? Along with his domestic violence case, this is what led him to actually leaving Scandal. Should I go? Should I go on? Let's continue. Listen, he also served a year in jail on domestic assault charges. He also got charged with the felony for another bar brawl. This person wasn't related. He was just throwing punches at strangers, right? Along with his domestic violence case, this is what led him to actually leaving Scandal. Should I go? Should I go on? Let's continue. Listen, he also served a year in jail on domestic assault charges, beating his then wife, Aida, who he married in 2017. What y'all think? Did y'all believe that BS? If you do, you should be ashamed of yourself. What do you think about Columbus Short? What do you think is wrong with them? Because he definitely has a history of acting out and being violent, not just to strangers, but definitely to the people laying in bed. If he pops up with another wife, y'all, we need to... He needs to have a warning label on all his clothes. But what do y'all think about this? Maybe it's mental illness. Maybe he needs help. But baby, that's help he's going to have to get on his own. Until then, my little TisaTells, talk to you later.